Alright guys, today we're going to be making a $1 million trading bot with $0 because that's all I have. I've been messing with trading bots for about, I want to say 4 to 5 days already. Almost been a week trying to make different types of trading bots for different types of things. But with those methods, I've been using AI-based training, trying to stress out my GPU as much as possible, trying to develop something that would work in the long term to be profitable, but not have the strategy make me less profit in the long run. So today we're going to be programming in ChatGPT. No, but we're going to create a prompt along with having some data that I have downloaded using an open source OHLCVT, which is open, high, low, close volume trades. I mean, we're not going to be using the trades. I don't think our AI would have that, because there is some data you can extract from trades, but not really. You would only usually trade by volume, open, high, low, close. And that's if you want to interpret a bar chart, which is interpreted right here, open, low, open, high, low, close. And then the volume is just how many people moved it up to get high or to make the wick. I'm not a trading professional. I'm not a account advisor or however you call it. Do not take my advice. I'm just trying to come up with different methods on how to do certain things using AI. And this seems like a fun project. So let's get started with the prompt that I made. Let's make a crypto trading bot that will take trades such as buy, sell, and hold. This will be using LSTM networks, which is long short-term memory. I did other research before this, and it seems like this is the best AI strategy that you could incorporate into trading. And then right here it says with proper optimizer and loss functions, which is found in the LSTM network. I do have Ethereum data from the last 7 years called Ethereum ETH_15 CSV, which is in the 15-minute time frame. Here is a sample of what's found inside the file. The headers are these that we just said, all lowercase. We can use PyTorch for training and Backtrader as a backtesting library because we're going to be simulating the money to see if it's actually profitable or not. In the feature engineering, we can use the moving averages for now until we get more advanced. So I'm using just a simple moving average strategy. We can use VWAP as I've tried before, and it was profitable, but not the way I wanted it to be. And I know it has potential because we are using a computer to automate the trading and have the best outcome as possible. Please show the code needed to make this work and the file structure as well. Yeah, and the file structure as well. So this will generate the code and the file structure that is needed to make this object-oriented if it wanted to, or if it wanted to just provide a single file as main.py, it will. So here is inside the training data. We're going to be programming in comma as featured in my other video. And so right here we have the data set from 2016, I believe, all the way to now, of just like last week, I think. So it's a lot of data. It's like close to 300,000 lines of code. Just delete that, save it. And so now let's run the prompt. Okay, right now we see that it put the data inside a data folder, src, create a requirement, so we could copy and paste that inside the requirements and install all those all at once. I should have all of these, so that's not a problem. It is creating 4 files, data pre-processing, which is going to read the CSV format, model, train, and backtest. So let me go ahead and create these files. So I have now created the files and the filing structure that it wanted. I went ahead and put the requirements in here, and now I just need to copy and paste over what it said, and then we could go over it. Okay, I see an error. I was copy and pasting every single one. I see an error so far. This is wanting to call from a class where it's not initialized. So just to fix that error, we're going to put a dot right here and a dot right here to call the... Well, actually, from looking at it, it looks like it doesn't even have... It's an unused import. So that's probably why it's an error right here. But let's go over on how this is probably going to work. So right here we have data pre-processing. This will load the file, get the timestamp, the first unit. It will add the moving averages from a given window size, which is how many bars and how many, basically how many CSV lines. And these two are basically for the model training, which will create the sequence and pre-process the sequence. Do I know what that means? No. So with a little bit of asking about AI, what is it doing? It's basically labeling it, it's preparing the file to predict. And right here, the LSTM trader, this is the algorithm that we're gonna call to train. And then right here we have our important hyperparameters, which is gonna determine how accurate our data set is and everything else, how fast and how accurate we want it, how many layers. And then right here we have the output size, which we're gonna buy, sell, hold. Convert everything to tensor cores to use with a graphics card. And if you don't have a graphics card, you could always tell the AI you don't have one and you would like to use a CPU. Torch has a good library for CPU training as well. If you don't have a good graphics card, I mean, it's gonna take some time, but hopefully it'll be worth it. And then right here we have our optimizer, which we asked for, which is Atom. It chose Atom. I do not know what it does. So Atom is an optimizer that updates the model parameters based on the loss, which is basically it sounds like an adaptive approach. Then after everything is done, we're actually gonna turn the epochs to 10 just to test out everything to make sure everything's working, and then I could turn it up to like 50. Oh, and it looks like it missed PD right here. PD is not defined. And so I asked it, since we're programming in an AI, let me move my camera here, programming an AI, so it says just to import that. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, actually it already did it for me. Just had to press enter and tab. So this is just the back testing. This is whenever the model, you finish training, it'll create these two files right here. And then it will go based off of those files. And yeah, let's go ahead and train the data. Okay, Python src train.py. Let's see if it runs into 0 errors. Oh, we have an error. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the chat, and then I'm gonna add the current file that it's trying to call to see if that helps resolve the issue. So it looks like I just had to remove the periods right there. Let's train it again. We're also gonna add an underscore init to initialize this folder. And so now with a little bit of prompt work, high quality prompt work right here, it showed me this code. I'm gonna apply it right here, imports everything, accept, and then let's retry it again. Let's see if there's any errors this time. Hopefully not. And it does look like it's loading really hard. That means it's probably getting the graphics card primed. All right, 1 out of 10, on our way to becoming a millionaire. Right after about 20 minutes, we finally have our files that we cannot see because they're a bunch of weird data. And so now it says to do a back test, to run the Python back test. We're gonna go ahead and run this. Let's see. Okay, we have an error about this one. Let's go and resolve it. We're just gonna delete the periods, I think. So yeah, just delete those. Python backtest. No file again. We're gonna add to the chat. Also, is it data or data? I don't know. Comment below. Okay, right here it just says to remove the backslash. I mean, I could have done it. It's just I have error here. Okay, now we have another error. So it says that it can't find a string value. This one's taking way too long. It's been like 2.5 minutes. So it did in fact load, and I just clicked apply, and it just changed this and this, and now we're getting another error. So this error usually comes with, if you're modifying a file, you have to make sure you're passing in certain information. Don't mind this for now. Certain information that is related to what's inside these files. So you have to be precise on what you're passing in. So it looks like I was missing some MAs, and so that's why I was throwing that error. I just had to import the data processing and call it right here as well. Okay, so it turns out that I was using the CPU instead of the GPU for training, so that's why it took 20 minutes. And I heard my water cooler kick in, and I was like, what's happening? So now we're gonna have to retrain the data using the GPU. Okay, this time after 3 minutes, it's done. and then we are gonna do a back test. Let's see if it could pop up something. Oh, so it looks like it's doing something here now. I've also encountered 2 errors. One of them was because I had the CPU instead of the GPU. I had to change everything over to GPU usage. And then this history thing, for some reason, I don't even know what it does, but I guess it stores history of something, and it just put this here. So now, since it was taking no trades, it was just doing holds all the time, we implemented RSI, MACD, and Bollinger Bands. So now I'm training the data right now, and we can see that we have some good data going. We actually see some losses, which that means it's actually doing something in the back end that we cannot see. So now we see some data action going on. We see some buying, selling, and holding really, really fast, with some probability statistics to back why it did that trade. Guys, we are now millionaires. So it did look like it did take some trades. As you can see from here, you see all the green, all the selling. Let me zoom in here on a couple of them to see what it did. As you can see, we've made a profit of $1,400 off of a $10,000 simulated profit. Let's do something more recent over here. So it looks like these trades are really, really good. The only downside of this strategy is that it does not predict the next outcome. But I'm pretty sure you could ask AI to develop another algorithm on top of this, saying, can you predict a probability or confidence level to simulate the next movement of the chart in a given time frame. So I think this is pretty successful. All right, but if y'all want to see more content like this, please subscribe, like, and comment what you think.